Call the meeting to order. Start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Approval of the agenda. Any additions or corrections?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second?
All in favor? Approval of the minutes from last week?
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Public comment period. It doesn't look like we have any visitors this morning.
Mr. Weiser.
He's on the agenda though. And Ann, you are first.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, my name is Ann Salmis. I'm the District Manager with the Root River SWCD. I am here today to ask for motion and your approval to enter into a memorandum of agreement between the counties of Dodge, Filmer, Olmsted, Houston, Mower, and Winona for the One Watershed, One Plan. This agreement will assure implementation of a comprehensive watershed plan in the Root River watershed to conserve soil and water resources. This is an important partnership to plan and implement future protection and restoration efforts. In addition to your approval, I'll need a board chair's signature, and I don't know how that's handled, so thank you.
Have we been in this is a continuation, or is this?
This is like the third time I've come to you for approval, and this should be the last time. I think you have the memorandum of agreement probably in your packets there.
Yes, I think we did too. Is this 1 year? Or a continuous, or a?
It'll take us till next December to complete the plan for all 6 counties, but yes, it will be a continuous plan. And it'll help us with funding down the road and as we work together.
What does it cost our county? What's our financial obligation?
We haven't worked out a budget yet.
I make a motion that we enter into the agreement.
I'll second it.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Did more get added to this since?
You want Teresa's signature or mine?
Because it says board chair.
Yep.
Do I do that now?
Yep, sure.
Okay.
Bring it up, she'll sign it.
Okay. So there is more. Okay. Did you guys know that there was more added to this?
It felt a little thicker for some reason.
When was it added? I saw it.
After you saw it.
Okay.
It just felt heavier, so I had to relook
Yeah.
at it.
Okay, then I'll bring
It
that.
seemed like repeat.
Okay, and then I'll need a copy
Yeah.
when everything is finalized with all the signatures. Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your good work too. Okay, Brian and Skip. I should say Attorney Weiser.
Thank you. I guess I'll let Skip present the annexation proposal here, and then I can just kind of fill you in here on the county's impacts, of which there really aren't any on the county highway system side. So,
First, thank you for allowing me to be here today. My name is Skip Weiser. I serve as the city attorney for the city of La Crescent. And what you have in your packet is a map of 2 properties that are seeking to be annexed from the town of La Crescent to the city of La Crescent. As many of you are aware, basically annexation is a process by which property goes from unincorporated areas to incorporated areas in this part of the state. That's generally from townships to cities. It's a process regulated by state statute, and there's a division of the Office of Administrative Hearings in St. Paul called the Minnesota Municipal Boundary Adjustment Board that oversees annexations throughout the state. And what we have, if you look at that map, it's a little confusing, but there's actually 2 parcels here. They're owned by the same property owner, and there's 2 houses. The houses have failing septic systems, and in your packet you see the property owners have petitioned the city of La Crescent to be annexed from the town to the city. And there's various processes by which the city can accomplish this. The quickest and most expedient is to do the annexation by ordinance. To do the annexation by ordinance, the city will need to provide a 30-day notice to the town of La Crescent and to contiguous property owners. At the conclusion of that public hearing, the ordinance gets sent to the Minnesota Municipal Boundary Adjustment Board, and it gets reviewed primarily to see if the city followed the statutory process to finalize the annexation. However, in order to do the annexation by ordinance, the property needs to abut the current city limits, and you see the dark hashtag type lines there. Those are the existing boundaries. And so what we are asking the county to do is County 25 traveling in a general west direction from the city to the town onto Southridge. Most of that up to that point is within the city limits until you get to that black line. What we're asking the county to do is to permit the city to annex that remaining right-of-way there from the black line to these 2 parcels so we abut. The main advantage would be primarily the how quick the annexation can take place. If the county board is in agreement, I would anticipate the annexation of these 2 parcels and the county road right-of-way would be finalized in early January of 2015 after we get our next city council meetings November 24th. So we would do our 30-day notices, will get us into January with the holiday season. Otherwise, there is another process for if a property doesn't abut, but that can take anywhere from 8 to 14 months. So if we do it this way, it's quicker, and then this will allow the property owners the ability to install the city water and sewer next spring during the construction season. So what we'd be asking the county to do would be to approve the property owner petition and join in on that petition, and then we'd also ask, I exchanged phone tag the last several days with the Municipal Boundary Adjustment Boards, exactly what documentation they would need from the county. I'm not sure if the minutes will be sufficient or if they'll need signatures on some things, but authorizing either the board chair or well, probably the board chair to sign anything that would come up after today. And I guess from the city standpoint, we feel this is the proper course. It's going to allow us to do this quickly. We don't believe it adversely impacts the county road system there. And you know, I think in your packet you see the property owners have asked to be in the city. They've asked to have the cost of the installation added to future property taxes. So if there's any questions on the request, I'm happy to answer them for you.
Mr. Weiss, 2 quick questions for you. So it's just County 20, so the road itself, obviously we see it shaded in, so that road would be annexed to that point, right?
The right away too.
Correct. It would go
Yeah.
from this line here, that's the intersection of County 25 and Janelle Avenue,
Yep.
westerly to where it abuts the requesting property owner here.
Sure. And that, the requesting property owner, if I read this right, is that one box shaded in right there, that lot, right?
Yep, they actually, this is the box, it'll be their primary residence.
Yep.
And then the kind of a reverse L-shaped parcel that wraps around is it's a neighbor's residence
Sure.
that they acquired.
Sure.
So it's one property owner, but they have 2 parcels with 2 houses.
So now, are those other lots that are next to them, those other white lots?
Right here?
Yep. Are there houses on those right now?
Correct. Yep,
Okay.
there are houses on all of these lots.
So here's a question though. Is this going to be something that, you know, they get annexed? Are all the other neighbors going to want to? Are they already, you know, I mean, is this going to kind of have a domino effect that everybody's going to want to annex to get that whole portion in, or how does that?
That's an interesting question. Actually, and I didn't bring it with you, that development that they call generally the Crescent Valley development, in 2010, that was, or Well, that was all developed in the early 80s, I believe.
Okay.
And that was all developed in the town of La Crescent. And then in 2010, there was a large landowner petition to annex, and about 20, I'm going to have to give you approximate numbers, but about 26 property owners came in to the city at that point. So actually, if you go further, this would be to the north, right here. From here, then the kind of cul-de-sacs back this way is predominantly city, and then going this way, it's probably 65% city, 35% town. We just annexed another property kind of over here where it abutted, where it was again, it was a failing septic system, and it was a real estate sale transaction where the seller had to get the city serviced in order to sell their property.
Sure.
So I would anticipate there will eventually be future annexations, but because of this, I don't think we would be back here asking for the county's participation in it.
Okay, more or less just because you've got that resolved now that, sure.
Yeah, this one's unique because it is property owner initiated, but they currently don't abut.
Okay.
And when you abut, it allows to go through a quicker ordinance process.
Okay, so it won't be something we're gonna have to do every week if somebody else wants to come through here all the time to annex it.
We
No.
actually won't have to be involved in
This
any of
is-
it. This is only because of our right-of-way. I actually went to
Okay.
look at it yesterday, and it is, like he said, petitioned by the residents. And when I was on town board, we had this happen in Crescent Valley, like you said, and where their systems failed, it would be cost prohibited to build a mound system or anything like that.
Takes them
So
longer.
that's why they
Yeah,
went
no,
together
no.
as a group to petition for annexation.
Sure, okay.
We're hearing a lot about these other annexations, but it's not related to this.
Yep, yep.
This is just our little section here.
Okay.
And I'm not aware of this with the Janelle and the Crescent Avenue annexations predates me, but I'm not aware of the city ever asking the county to actively participate in this process. It was just kind of a unique situation for where this property owner is in relation to the existing city limits.
Sure.
And just, the township is on board with the annexation, or don't they have any say-so at all?
They'll be provided notice of the public hearing. Historically, there is another process where we could do a joint resolution with the township, but it sounds like the county's aware, there's two other what are called contested annexations pending with the state of Minnesota. And because of that, there just hasn't been a level of cooperation to get this done in a timely fashion.
I think that we should I'll make a motion that we approve the annexation request, because when systems fail out here, they don't have any other choice. It's like, that's what's best for the property owners, and so
I
that's
can
a
understand that.
motion that we go ahead with it.
Second.
Further discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I'll communicate with the board chair if the state needs anything signed from the county.
Didn't think you'd need me up here, but it came up here instead. Anyway, just in case. Sounds like you guys might be a little bit ahead of schedule by the time you get to the 10:30 facility tours. So I'm going to go out to Garage Cassette, a couple miles out of town. So if you need me back early, just call my cell phone or something, or I'll try to get back.
Okay. You could have picked a warmer day for this, but I have layers on.
Yeah, well, anytime in the last couple of weeks would have been difficult for a much warmer day.
I know.
Thank you.
Human Services, you're up early today, too.
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
You guys look like you think it's cold.
It's like 8.
It was 19.
It's cold.
I don't even mind cold weather, but it's ridiculous.
But just so you know, yesterday, a year ago, it was 60 degrees.
That makes you feel bad.
Exactly. Allegedly, they're gonna hit, what, mid-30s this weekend?
And
See what
Christmas
happens.
lights up.
Little story on that. A few weeks ago, when there was no snow and it was nice out, I offered my wife to put up Christmas lights, and she said, I really don't know what I want to do yet. Last weekend, she goes, you know what we should do today? We should hang Christmas
Yeah.
lights. I said, no, you lost your
Fails.
chance. What?
And you did it, didn't you?
No. It's cold.
Told her you'd hold the ladder for
Oh,
her.
exactly.
Yeah. Should I go first? I'll go first, okay. I have some contracts for you. It is contract time. And so I'll just explain what they are. And 3 out of the 4 are renewals. So we'll start with the renewals maybe. The first one is a regional contract, and it's for SNAP, which is a Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. And actually, Wabasha County is the host county. And this is, actually, it's completed and done through workforce development. So that is the first one. Do you want to just do a motion or discussion after I explain all what I have? All of
Do we
them?
have to do each one individually?
Do we have to approve each contract individually?
Probably not.
Probably not?
We could
Okay.
just do them as a list.
Okay, all right. And then, kind of semi-related to that one, but it's not a regional contract, it's just our individual county, is another workforce development contract that is for MFIP, which is Minnesota Family Investment Program, as well as diversionary work program. And they go along with SNAP, which is the food program. So that is individually county. And it's a renewal. The SNAP one is a renewal as well. And there's really very little that's changed in there, other than the dates. So these are all for 2015. And actually, the workforce development contract for MFIP and DWP are the exact same dollar amount as last year. And then I have a contract for Hiawatha Valley Mental Health Center, and that is for comprehensive adult mental health and children's mental health. And I believe the chemical dependency contract we have with them was a 2-year contract we did last year. So that's good for a while. That's one of those. And really, I think the rates are a little bit different. They always send us a new rate sheet. Other than that, the dates have changed. The contract language is exactly the same. There's nothing that changed. The 4th contract I have is for a company called Tellurian UCAN, and it's the La Crosse Care Center. And we did a preliminary, a short-term little contract with them earlier this year. We wanted to try them out. It's for crisis stabilization services for adults who sometimes have mental illness, sometimes chemical dependency issues, right? They go there or not so much?
Not so much. Mostly
Oh, okay.
it's mental health people. So
Is
people
this-
that,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
well, people that were in, say, Gunderson or Mayo Clinic that were the inpatient psych unit that are ready to transition home but not ready to go directly home. And so this is usually a 3 to up to 21-day program that kind of streamlines all their medications. So say if they had multiple providers prescribing meds, they get all the meds together, all that stuff organized, create a plan of safe transition back home. So it's very acute, it's not long-term, and typically it's when you're coming out and kind of leaving that very intensive unit in the hospital setting.
Is this the one that had free days or something?
Yeah, we had 5 free, which was the greatest offer I've ever got from an agency ever, 5 free days, and we used it without
Yeah.
question.
And so you were happy with the services that they provided?
Yeah, it's so difficult, and I wish they would take Minnesota MA, but it's so difficult to find a provider around here, honestly. And La Crosse being as close as it is, yeah, we absolutely used it, and they were able to kind of get things easier and, set up easier, things like that, just because they're local. They know the providers, they know all that stuff, as opposed to using a service that's in Austin or Anoka.
Yeah. They're actually, this Tellurian company is a pretty big company, and they have several sites in Wisconsin. And actually, I think, what, do they have like 14 beds at this particular site? 10 of them are reserved for La Crosse County all the time. So they have 4 other beds, and that works out really well for our little county. We've been really happy with them. So you'll get to,
So since they don't take MA, does that mean it falls strictly on county dollars?
We typically utilize our adult mental health crisis funds, so our CSP dollars or our CREST dollars, and that grant pool there to pay for it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It works very nice. And it's actually a bargain, believe it or not, at $350 a day.
I believe it.
Yeah, versus some of the other places that are, how much are they? They can be-
$600-$700 a day, depending
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, so we're really, really pleased. They approached us, quite a long time ago, and I'm glad it's worked out.
They exclusively used to contract only with La Crosse County, and that contract changed this past year. So,
It's really good.
Yeah, so I
So we
guess I-
are looking for a motion to approve the contracts?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, all right, well, you don't have to sign them all right now, Teresa, there's a lot of stickies on it. And I can tell you,
Okay, thank
you
you.
can, after the meeting,
Okay,
just.
sounds good.
A lot of signatures for you today, too.
Okay. Tess,